I wish you could see the view from my tent, Lara. The dig looks so beautiful in the early evening, when the last embers of the sunlight dying upon a good day's work. Then, one by one, the fires are lit, and the smell of roasting meat wafts across the camp. They tell me that it's guinea pig. I declined it. Roth ate too. Maybe next time I'll bring you out here too. How did your history test go?
Those were my happiest memories, Dad, being out on the digs with you. Especially when you gave me my own little plot to excavate. I liked that. Feeling that I was part of something important. I aced that test, by the way. I want answers, but what choice do I have now? I can't let Trinity wipe these people out. There are lines here that I crossed a long time ago, and there's no going back. I've got to help them. It's clear that Jacob's people would die for him, and he for them. That kind of loyalty is rare, and to find it here at the ends of the earth is truly remarkable. If I fight with them, perhaps Jacob will trust me enough to tell me what's really going on. So much violence and death. Jacob's people have been through so much, yet they continue to fight. They are bound by an oath taken by their ancestors, a duty handed down from the past. But I see a people who simply want to live in peace. I believe it's time for them to let go of the past. If I can find the Atlas, it might lead to the divine source. I could take it away from here. They wouldn't have to suffer anymore. They could share the burden of the truth with the world. But if all this leads to nothing, I don't know what I'll do. I'm ahead of Anna now, but I don't know what I've gotten myself into here. Something else dwells in the darkness of this place. But I've got to continue. I've come too far. Anna thinks she knows me. And maybe she does on some level, but she doesn't know everything. And as long as she continues to underestimate me, I might still have the upper hand. Someone else was attacking Trinity in the darkness beneath the cathedral. Could it be the Deathless One Sophia spoke of? And if so, what part do they have to play in all of this? I have so many questions. But for now, I'm just relieved. Jonah's alive. I should have known he'd come looking for me. And thank God Jacob's people found him before he ran afoul of Trinity. I never wanted him to follow me into danger, but I have to admit, I'm happy he's here now. They have Jonah now, and the Atlas. But if they think he knows something, there's still a good chance they're keeping him alive. I just hope Jonah can hold out long enough for me to find him. I have to get him back. I won't let him die here. Hang on, Jonah. I'll find you.
I know I've spoken little of your mother, Lara, but I want you to know that in the brief time she spent with you, she loved you utterly. We were a very happy little trio, and when we lost her, I was a wreck. I still am. I hope one day I will find answers that will stop this pain. For me it is too late, but for others, maybe not. I'm rambling now. Shouldn't have had that nightcap. Sweet dreams, dearest.
Was it all about her? Those questions about life you hope to answer? Or was that just an excuse? Maybe I reminded you of her too much. God, Lara, you're talking to a ghost. About another ghost. Maybe you need a nightcap.
I know that you like to read the archaeological journals now, but I urge you that if you see anything written which is less than pleasant about me, to ignore it. There are those who simply do not understand the work I'm doing here. Perhaps they're even frightened by it, but their fear and stupidity is not my concern, and neither should it be yours. I will explain everything in good time, my darling girl.
The people that were frightened, were they Trinity? You never told me. I guess it doesn't matter now anyway. They found their way to me. Now I'm going to have to deal with them. I just have to catch my breath for a moment. This place, Kitesh, Jacob, the Deathless Ones. I've been running so fast for so long, I haven't stopped to acknowledge the simple fact that all of this is real. A part of me can't believe it. But I know Jacob was telling the truth. Whatever made him is here, and I'm going to find it before Trinity. I only wish Dad was alive to share in this discovery. I don't know what I expected an immortal being to be like, but Jacob seems so human. The things he must have seen over the years, all that experience and knowledge, it's difficult to fathom. And yet, he lied to his own people for generations, all for the sake of this secret. What wonders will be unlocked with the divine source? Will humans finally understand the true nature of the soul? Or will it unlock some extraordinary new scientific discovery? One thing is certain. It's too important to allow Trinity to control.
Before I even held you, I almost lost you, Lara. Yet you fought back, determined to live, breathe, ball your tiny fists and scream the hospital down. It was the best noise I ever heard. When I went home that snowy night, I cooked myself a steak. Then I drank half a bottle of whiskey, tried to make snowshoes out of tennis rackets, and fell asleep with the cat. I was so damn happy.
I think I must have heard that story about a dozen times, and I could hear it a dozen more. I wish that could have lasted. I wish we'd had more time.
The soil in this valley is not the rich, black earth of your fertile homeland. The bones of these mountains are not the gentle hills you roamed as children. We are in a new land, and we must learn the language of the stones. Beneath our feet, the sharp rocks hide glittering veins of ore, gold, and chromite, which, when mixed with other alloys, creates a steel that shines like silver.
You'd find these structures with the books in shrines with much puzzles and enemies sometimes and bears and whatnot. And by the end of the shrine, you'd find one of these or like a map and they would give you like a skill that would help you, like more time to hold your arrows to fire, to aim, so that it's easier to hit your target, higher rate of fire and whatnot. And yeah, and they would contain scripts of like how these skills. Like you would read about these things and they would help you, like, and they would tell you like a great ancestor way that they told you to have a higher rate of fire while dealing with arrows and whatnot, including this context or one like it.
Pain is illusory, just as the body it is tied to. Our souls feel no pain. When we split, rend, and tear our flesh, our souls still soar, unblemished and undamaged. When you learn to separate the lies of our bodies from God's truth of the soul, then the adversary has no hold upon you. Your body may die, torn limb from limb, and you will call out with joy, for your soul is eternal and free of pain. Once we had learned the lessons of our enemies, we grew to surpass them in skill. We learned how to loose arrow after arrow, until the battlefields were so covered with arrow shafts that they resembled a field of wheat. And still we learned. The best riders and archers of Asia Minor no longer opposed us, but instead clamored to join our armies. We carry the wisdom earned from generations of refinement, and now we pass on these lessons to you. Our ancestors had not been hunters for many generations. We were so used to the great sprawling wealth of the Empire. We were forced to discover those skills again on the hard trek into the mountains. We learned from hardship and from the people we met along the way. The best of our hunters will tell you that with a proper focus, they can see the life coursing within an animal and can pierce their heart with a single arrow. Without their skills, we would not have survived. This valley has given us all we need to survive and flourish. But it did not give those gifts willingly. Towering cliffs of rock and ice made traversing our lands treacherous in the best of times. Our city now has roads and paths, bridges and walkways. But in the early days, we had only our hands, rope, and simple tools. More than a few of us died, scaling the inhospitable heights. But now we have learned to cross the face of these cliffs, as if we were born to it. Learn from our trails, and the pull of the earth will never hold you down. When the body suffers a wound, it knows how to stitch itself together. A child with no knowledge of the bodily humors would still heal from any wound that does not prove fatal. But with the knowledge contained within, you will see that a wise man, with great practice and concentration, can will his body to heal faster. The mind holds great sway over the realm of flesh. When we first arrived in this new valley, we were lost and dying. The beasts and trees and plants were all strange and foreign to us. But we have learned much. It has been a long and painful process, and we discovered through many trials and still more errors what salves and poisons can be made, and what other treasures the valley offers. Let this text be a lesson to those who follow in our footsteps. When we fled the Empire, we left much behind. but nothing so valuable as the secrets of our ancestors. The secret of the Warfire. With this weapon, our ancestors broke the invasions of the Persians, the Avars, and the Arabs. They know it by another name, Greek Fire, for we alone know the secret. But we had to leave it behind. After many long years, we have at last found the ancient formula. And again we wield the Warfire. Our arrows glow bright with death, and we can feel safe once again. Do not let the secret leave this valley. Protect it with your life. Though the philosophers believe our body is but a dream of the soul, an infection of the flesh or a blow to the skull can end that dream, whether we believe it or not. Those wise men sleepwalk through life, hastening their own ends through inattention, while I am not so foolish that I would declare them right or wrong. I will instead make aims to protect both body and soul. Through concentration, discipline, and focus, we can become masters of the physical realm, able to keep our bodies and souls together by avoiding the horror of pain. Pay close attention. You must always see the sword before it strikes if you hope to live. There was a time when our empire fought with sword and shield. But we learned from our enemies. The horsemen of the steppes and the archers of the east taught us, at great cost. We adopted their strategies, took their lessons to heart, and brought their mercenaries to our side with coin. In time, we learned to be just as deadly with a bow, just as quick. Let these lessons, learned in blood, be your birthright as a soldier of the Empire.
So, this one special ability is not so clear as the others. So this one is about being able to see the animal's footprints and easier to track animals and whatnot.
It's been weeks since these bastards dragged me from the Gulag, from Ivan and my daughter, to this strange vale. They have tasked me with finding some way of counteracting the unusual effects of the pollen that hangs in the air. Now I believe I have a formula that may work. An extract from the seed pods of the plant. The liver of animals that consume the flowers and have metabolized the toxins. A phenothiazine derivative. The last ingredient is a risk. They have it in large quantities around the Gulag, where it is used as an insecticide. It may also act as a rudimentary antipsychotic, bearing a chemical similarity to other compounds I have studied. Or it may be poisonous. I will try the mixture on myself tonight.
Nadia, my granddaughter. By now you already know. I am going into the Vale to kill the witch, Baba Yaga. I have gone to seek revenge for your grandmother. There are newcomers in our valley, armed men arriving in helicopters. I do not know what they want, but I know if I am to go, this is my last chance. You deserve to know the truth, to know why. Your grandpa is not a wise man. I have become, with hard work, a good man for your grandmother's sake. But it was not always so. I came from the west, where even a small village has thousands of inhabitants. I was a lazy young man, and I dreamed of an easy life when I joined the party. A comfortable desk in a big city. But they sent me here, to the ends of the earth. To watch men and women work and starve and die. To participate in their punishment. I knew it was evil, but I did not know how to fight until I met her.
Initial contact was made with the elderly native male at 0700. At first, we believed he was participating in an assault on the facility, but he proceeded away and through an unmapped canyon. We received authorization to pursue at a distance, and already we've encountered ruins and other promising signs. We're trying to keep calm out here, but this looks like a big find. That discovery bonus is as good as ours.
I don't have the words to describe what I just saw. I went inside the wicked Vale looking for Nadia's grandfather, but I barely escaped with my life. It was like a fairy tale, but through a broken, filthy mirror. And Dad, I know intellectually it was all in my mind, but the gunshot is still ringing in my ears. There's something terrible going on in there, and while I don't believe that it is magic, it is extraordinary. I have to find out what's behind all this, but first, I have to find a way to see clearly. Against all odds, they survived in the ruins of their former glory. But forces from outside the valley came, again seeking the divine source, separated from the rest of history for almost 1,000 years, until the Soviets came. They were almost wiped out, and those that lived struggled to survive the coming years. Without the city, they were forced to adapt, surviving from the land. Many believed the Prophet was dead in the years that followed, but he returned to protect what remained of his people. Somehow, the Mongol horde learned of Kitezh and the treasure of the source. They laid siege to the city, and although they were outnumbered, the Prophet blessed his army, the Athanatoi, so that they too would not fear death. They fought for many days, until at last, the glaciers rose up and swallowed the city, entombing it in ice. The city was a marvel. If half of this can be believed, it was the rival of Constantinople or any of the cities of the East. Still, they feared their old enemies would find them, so they guarded their borders and kept word of the city from spreading for as long as they could. The followers of the Prophet were builders, engineers, scholars, doctors, as well as soldiers and common folk. Wise and good people walked in his footsteps, and with their knowledge and will, a great city was raised up in a generation. The city of the Prophet, resting place of the divine source, Kitezh. But through the hardship, they knew they had been chosen to be the protectors of the divine source. So God granted them a paradise in which they could begin again. They came to a lush valley by a lake high in the mountains. The The Prophet had led them through hardships and death, and now they were free to begin again in safety. Across the steppes and into the frozen wastes, they traveled east in search of safety and freedom. They passed the edge of the Empire and crossed into the frontier, protecting the Divine Source. The journey was perilous. Many succumbed to the cold and starvation, but the miracles of the Prophet kept them going forward. They fled south to the very edge of the Empire, but attackers pursued them, seeking to silence the Prophet. They were attacked, and the Prophet was killed. But the Divine Source awoke, and the Prophet arose from the dead. When the Emperor died, the Prophet's favor in court died with him. The new Emperor distrusted him, and fearing for their safety, the Prophet and his followers fled the imperial city with the Divine Source. Many stayed behind and renounced the Prophet, but one entire imperial army pledged loyalty to the Prophet, the Athanatoi. The Prophet returned from the wilds a changed man, bearing the Divine Source, and entered the holy city of Constantinople. People came far and wide to hear him, and he had the ear of great generals and even the Emperor himself. But even then, he had enemies. The Athanatoi, literally the Deathless Ones, they defended the city against all invaders with Greek fire, a secret weapon they bought from Byzantium. It burned through iron and flesh and could even set water ablaze, and they guarded the formula of its creation. When the drought of 1,000 days choked the land, the Prophet led his people to the waters of life. When the drought of the Prophet was slain by the Order of Trinity as they fled Constantinople. But his followers escaped and took his body to the oasis. A great plague descended upon the people, ravaging young and old alike. The Prophet went among the afflicted, laying his hands upon them, restoring them to the fullness of life. When the great armies of the north invaded the land, the people rose up to meet them in battle. But the Prophet bade them to lay down their arms. He spoke to the enemy in their tongue, and they did depart in peace. We celebrate the miracles of the Prophet of Constantinople, who was unjustly taken from us at the hands of the Order of Trinity. But his truth can never be hidden. A plaque celebrating the scientific achievement of the Soviets. It reads, "Motherland, you've been the first to light a star of progress and peace over the earth. Glory to science, glory to labor, glory to the Soviet regime." Another plaque to promote a good work ethic. It reads, Work hard to fight cold and hunger. If only it were that easy. The plaque is a little more belligerent than the others. It reads, "Enemies must answer for their crimes against the motherland." The symbolism isn't exactly subtle. An image of a man working a farm in the dead of night. It reads, "Night won't prevent us from working." I can't imagine smiling about that. The text reads, "Lenin lived. Lenin lives. Lenin will live forever." Coco stands at the crest of the mount, watching as the stars move round him. Damien lifts the black dirt of Kitesh up over his head, marking the place where the first building will be built. Aurora ministers to the wounds on the side of the road to Kitesh. Aurora ministers to the wounds on the side of the road to Kitesh. Rivka, in her old age, stares upon the city her designs gave birth to, and she smiles. Valentina stands overlooking the built city. Overhead, both the sun and the moon are visible in the sky, representing the speed at which time seems to pass. An ancient carving of a pagan god. Perhaps a fertility idol. It's thousands of years old. The hilt of an ancient dagger. An ancient deer charm carved from a stag's antler. It could have been an important object or a child's toy. This is, particularly odd. Has elements of Scythian design, but it looks like a... No, not possible. prehistoric carving of the bear. The stone looks like it could have come from this valley. A gold sword hilt inlaid with jewels. This belonged to a Byzantine noble. An iron pendant. Soldiers in the Empire would sometimes tie them to their belts. A pair of gambling dice. Common thing for soldiers, but these are a little more opulent than most.
This one doesn't have a 6 on most of the faces. It has a 6 on all the faces.
A gold belt buckle. Decorative but strong and functional. It appears to be part of a military uniform. The standard of the Prophet's army. This would have been mounted above a flag and carried by a standard bearer. Another religious symbol, but this one is simple and handmade. Another religious symbol, but this one is simple and handmade. The Prophet must have drawn followers from every walk of life. A religious icon, detailed and inlaid with gems. It looks Byzantine, perhaps 10th century. It fits with the legend of the Prophet. It's a reliquary box. Something used to protect and hold relics of the saints. Anything from teeth to fingers to the entire head, this claims to be a relic of the Prophet. A papal bull, the lead seal marking the authenticity of a document. This must have been attached to something of great import, like a writ of excommunication. A Byzantine brooch. The enamel work is beautiful. A coin with an image of a city stamped in gold. A golden necklace of incredible detail. Whoever made it, it's the equal of anything found in the Empire. An ivory jar. It looks like it was carved from a single tusk. A simple thing, but the level of detail in the carving is impressive. A golden chalice fit for a king, or a prophet. It was made here in Katash. A golden chalice. A blue glass vase, still in excellent condition. Not many of these survived, for obvious reasons. The prophet's icon, cast in gold. The metal workers of the city started to develop their own style, but it's still similar to Byzantine craftwork. A thumb ring for a Mongolian archer, allowing them to shoot quickly while still mounted on horseback. This must have belonged to a warrior of some stature. An arrowhead carved from bone. This looks like Mongol craftsmanship. There's a piece of flint in the pouch. It's a striker to start a fire. Each Mongol soldier had to be self-sufficient. A Mongolian tug. A banner of sorts to be affixed to a spear. This one looks like it's seen some violence. These are spurs from Mongol horsemen. They're far more decorative and lavish than I'd expect. But they're still well used. Whoever owned them was wealthy, but they rode with the army. A paisa, a sort of passport. Whoever held this spoke with the authority of the Mongol Empire. Crown from one of the princes of Kiev. How did it come to be all the way out here? A woman's necklace, made of Baltic amber. Incredible craftsmanship. It must have belonged to a noblewoman. A vase made of silver. It's seen a lot of use and travel, but it has a rough portrait of the Prophet. They must have begun trading with the outside. A drinking horn. Not very common in Byzantine culture. This looks like it came from the west, near Kiev. A carved wooden relief of what looks like the Prophet of Katesh. It's well worn and damaged. This isn't made of local timber. Word of the Prophet must have spread.
They have that faint echo when Lara finds the artifact in like a cave, or like I think maybe a shrine, but I'm not so sure about that one. Just an enclosed space, basically, like a cave or maybe a shrine.
A scroll case, inlaid with ivory and gems. This must have been a censer to burn incense in, but it's been modified. This vase must have been beautiful once, but someone's poked a few new holes in it and filled it with dirt. They must have used it to grow seedlings. A basket made of silver. Certainly meant to be decorative, but someone's been using it to carry grain. An old ring, tied to a leather thong to create a loop. They had no need of jewelry. An iron coin with one side cut and shaped into a crude claw tool, perhaps to remove nails. This flask belonged to a soldier in the Red Army. I don't recognize the insignia. The Hero of the Soviet Union Medal. It's the highest honor given for acts of heroism. Perhaps one of the Gulag officers? Order of the Red Banner Medal. Another high honor. But this medal has been deliberately defaced. Maybe the owner was disgraced. A silver cigarette case. Looks like it's been through a war, which is likely. A small gentleman's pillbox with an enamel hammer and sickle. Soviet military dog tags, standard issue. The name is Yuri Ravdonikas. A small, intricate clockwork toy, made of bits of scrap metal and other detritus, all from the Gulag. Must have taken a long time to gather the parts. Another sculpture, but this one looks like a game. A family photograph. Russian, late 1950s. Perhaps one of them was imprisoned here. Something's written here. Remember. A Gulag identification card for one of the prisoners. A trigger mechanism for a bomb. It's the same handiwork. He must have been gathering the supplies for a long... A rifle shell. But there's something unusual about this one. A pendant? No. A modern reliquary. There's a small human bone inside. Someone's rosary. These beads have been worn away, almost to nothing. Badge of rank in a military order. Trinity. It's a stamp to seal official Trinity letters. Not many people still use these. A military patch for Trinity soldiers. Aside from the design, there's no identifying tags. They keep themselves hidden, even from their own foot soldiers.
All of the relics except one are left in the Vale. The other one was the one that I saw and I showed you before. That sounds like a great idea. Let's just sit by a fire right by a huge leopard. Yeah, that's totally safe because that makes so much sense. Which uniform do I want? Ooh, look, I'm a burglar. I'll just stick with this one. I think I want to get out of here, and I don't want to be near this place because it's very dangerous here. I think this challenge is to destroy all the walkie-talkies. The hidden walkie-talkies. Maybe. Because I know I started that and I don't remember if I finished that one. And it's around this area. Could be. Well, Trinity burned everything on fire. Yep. And there's a lot more Trinity left here. So let's kick him out of this village. By kick, I mean I'm gonna kill them and then toss them into the flames. Yay! when I went to the village, that was one of the guys I had to talk to for my for one of my missions. And now he's dead, like most of the other people. Oh, this is another person I had to also talk to for one of my missions. And she's dead also. Yay! Looks like I must get my revenge. I will revenge you! I mean, I will avenge you! I'm looking for small hidden walkie-talkies. So I just need to find one more survival cache and one more document. Oh, what's the achievement? Oh yeah, it is walkie-talkies. I have to destroy 4 walkie-talkies, and I have to find one survival cache. Oh look, there's a document up there. Cool. So I'll go get that document, and I'll go get that those 4 walkie-talkies. Near those walkie-talkies, there was a whole lot of guys, so I'm gonna be very careful, and I'm gonna throw grenades at them a lot. I've upgraded my instincts ability, so that now I can see hidden artifacts and whatnot, and I can also see like people that like the Trinity that wants to kill me, those people that are walking around without like through buildings and walls and such, and like through objects, so I can see them when they're coming up. And it also helps me see animals and all the helpful things to climb walls and such. Like walls that I can climb and routes that I can take and whatnot. Is that a walkie-talkie, that red thing? Is that red thing a walkie-talkie? Dangerous gas. Whoa! Okay, there was a walkie-talkie there. Okay. What's that? What's that thing? I didn't know shooting a gas can could make it explode. I thought that was a walkie-talkie. Three more walkie-talkies to destroy. Where could they be? Ooh. Let's blow up the place. That sounds like a great idea. Then it'll make it easier to find everything. Let's search this area. Let's search this area. Done. It's searched. Searched. How about back here? Searched. How about back here? Searched. Where can these be? Oh, it could be like not in this square. I already got everything down there. Where could this walkie-talkie be? Sometimes they hang from the roof. Usually. That's where I found the other three. That I found before I started making this video. Oh, don't want to go in there. was that? Hit E to pick up. Oh, cool. Let's make some more explosions. Oh, there's stuff up here. Let's explore up there. Let's search up there. Searched. How do we get up there? This is hard. Oh no, it's not gonna work. How do we get up there? Cheap game that won't let me jump up on here. Let me jump on that basket. That game is cheating. Won't let me jump. Oh my god, you're destroying my only way up. Great job. How am I supposed to get up there on that second level? How do I get to that level? Maybe I don't have to. Like, let me demonstrate. I'll take this and I go like, ooh. Why can't I get up there? Let me up! I want up. Is that a walkie-talkie? Yes, yes it is. Yes! I don't think they're up there. They might be all just down here. Maybe more explosions will help. Two more walkie-talkies to find. Then I need to find one cache, and then I just need to go to the document. Yeah! Now where is these two walkie-talkies? Hidden. They're not called hidden walkie-talkies for nothing. Where, oh, where are these walkie-talkies? Show yourself. Where are you? I will destroy your communications. Now show me your walkie-talkies. Where are they? Walkie-talkies? Any walkie-talkies? Walkie-talkies? Where are you, walkie-talkies? How do I get up there? You know, I'm just gonna go for the document right now. It would be funny if it's just like laying on the floor. Ooh, I really need bullets. I'll go for this one because it has a lot of bullets. I fear that this is a cave. Because caves are always filled with evil wolves and... Ooh, it's water things, so there's no enemies. Yay! That was a quick. Oh, I remember this. This is annoying. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. Over emptiness in space. What's down there? Oh, that thing that I struggled to get up from. I hate that Monkey Waters puzzle. It's so annoying. I don't want to go down in that Monkey Waters because it literally took me like 5 hours just to get out of the Monkey Waters puzzle because it's so long and so annoying. Now I have no idea where I'm going. Please see I'm going the right direction. Oh. I take that as a no. So I continue over. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now Q. Take what? Wait. Take. Okay. That's gotta hurt. Skills. Just skills. Bad skills. Now where am I? Okay, the document is somewhere here. Oh, is it over here? Yeah. Okay, don't die. Yeah. That would be funny if that just fell and I fell off the cliff. Because there's like that rock there. Whoa. Jump! Don't just stand there and fall over. Where is it from here? It's coming up. I'm gonna save. It says it's right here. But where? I thought that was an enemy. Wait, can I jump down here? Oh, I can. Oh, there it is, there it is. I found you. You sneaky piece of map.
When the Knights of the Order of Trinity learned of the Prophet's rebirth, they attacked again. But we were armed with true faith. Where they expected a slaughter of helpless refugees, they found an army of men and women who would no longer be victims. Many died there, but in the end,
we stood victorious. We fled, leaving his tomb and the Empire behind. We walked for months, across the high plains, and into the frozen lands beyond the borders of the Empire. The path was difficult, and many began to doubt the Prophet. I am ashamed to say I did as well. I hope he can forgive me, for with the break of dawn, we now see the truth. He has brought us to an earthly paradise, where we can begin anew. God bless the Prophet, for he has delivered us.
All that's left is to destroy 2 walkie-talkies and dig up a survival cache that is somewhere in this huge area. How much percent does it say? 89%, and I have 3 things to do. The walkie-talkie, destroy the walkie-talkie, destroy another walkie-talkie, and find the survival cache. 90% done? 64% done. 100% done. I'm 95% done the whole game. Ooh. I want to do that. I want to destroy more fuel tanks. I'll go over there later. For now, I'll save, and I'll do this in the morning because it's getting really late and it's like 10 p.m. right now. I'll just get to a campsite just to make sure it saves. Wait, I can catch a chicken. Watch me catch. I can catch a chicken. Watch me catch a chicken. Look, I got a chicken. And you could throw it into the fire. Oh, dang it, he squirmed out of my hand too. Gotta grab him. Gotta grab him. Grab him. Hello, chicken. Meat. Fire. Die. Again. And how about I push you off the edge? Too bad I can't push that thing off the edge. That would have been epic. Burn you alive, shoot you, and then push you off the edge. I think I have found a dead end. Oh no, the door's open. I'll just get to the nearest campsite. Oh, what's over here? It says the campsite's somewhere near here. Oh, maybe it's on the other side of this. Oh, there it is. It says it'll automate like an autosave or save to save it. So escape. No. Escape. Click to menu. Any progress since the last autosave or base camp will be lost. I'm right at a base camp, so yes. Well, I'll play some tomorrow and hopefully 100% it. And this is going to be one whole long video.